Hi, my name is Lisa with Healing with Nature, Sedona. Today, I would like to talk about empathy overload, what it feels to take on other people's emotions, pain. A lot of people like to say they have empathic abilities, that they can feel, like for example, you can feel too much when you go into a certain store, there's too many people. So I think it's important that there is more to the story than just trying to shield from environments energetically and practice healthy boundaries energetically. Because if we expose ourselves to too much information, the news outlets, too much online time, too much of the lies and the current climate of the world can cause overload with you sitting in your own private spaces if you're scrolling too long or watching things that actually can drain your energy. So, empathic. I know for my whole entire life, I've had the ability to feel too much, to feel my family members' emotions and pain. And then when I would be working on my own emotions or pain, that I would take on more. It's almost like a switch is hit and you become a sponge. So, first step of anything is to acknowledge your ability. I do believe everybody has this ability to feel. It's part of our energy field. Science has proven we are made of energy. So to be able to say you go to a concert and everybody's singing and you get the body chills and you feel that environment and you get teary, that is being able to feel the energy of the space. It has nothing to do with the lyrics. It has to do with the unity of energy. So if you think about the other side of that, walking into a space, maybe there's someone still in that space when you walked in. Maybe there's nobody left in that space, but for some reason you know something negative just happened. And you actually can feel yourself tuning in going, whoa, what just happened? It doesn't feel good. It feels like there's a lot of tension. Or what is that saying? You can cut the air with a knife because it's so thick. That is also energy. So I'm really blessed and grateful to be able to live in Sedona amongst all these beautiful red rocks. The red rocks here actually enhance the energy, whether you're feeling good things or whether you're feeling negative or challenging things. So let's take a moment and learn how to practice. First, again, acknowledge that you have this ability. So just knowing that you kind of relate to some of those basic stories I talked about, and that you go, you know what, I do feel other people's stuff. Well, acknowledgement is your power. I hope you just heard that because a canyon wren just did a big...
I saw him.
Yeah, totally. Oh, they're coming back right now. So it's coming right over. Yep.
Whoa. Oh, he's
right there, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have a beautiful canyon wren joining us. So when you feel into your environment and you get into a practice of quieting your mind or grounding, getting in nature, finding that spot off the beaten path, and taking time for yourself, ask yourself these questions. Do I feel too much? Do I feel like I'm taking on too much of everybody's emotions? Do you have people in your life that actually do all the talking and venting and you never get a word in edgewise and then you walk away feeling drained? I can relate to a lot of those things I just said. I totally understand that. I've learned to navigate my abilities of being able to feel too much and not having it be what some people would say, oh, my gifts are a curse. No, you just have to learn how to wield it. You don't go to warrior training and they hand you all the stuff and the sword and the shield and go, good luck with that. You actually have to learn and train with the tools, with the awareness of your abilities. So, awareness, step one. And I will repeat a bit because I want to make sure that I stay on track. I'm learning to get into a flow with a camera. Again, I guide people here in Sedona with vortex healing experiences and how to inspire them and empower them to see and remember who they are, and to tap into all the abilities that we carry within us to navigate our journeys on this beautiful earth. So, step one, again, acknowledgement. All right, let's go to the next place. When you acknowledge, yeah, I feel too much. Well, now it's about a daily practice of saying, do I feel someone else's stuff? Is this mine? So you quiet yourself. You're feeling a bit drained. You walk away from the spaces you're in and you just ask yourself a quiet inner voice, is this mine? Listen to your inner talk, inner feeling, your gut feeling. What do you get? If it's not yours, simply choose to let it go and clear it. There's many ways you can clear your energy. You can go to a sink in the restroom wherever you are, and you can intentionally start washing your hands and saying, whatever is not mine is cleared away from me right now. And you hold that powerful intention. You don't have to say this out loud, but if it helps and it strengthens you, then say it out loud. So, washing your hands, daily practice when you shower, whether you're a morning or an afternoon shower, whether you're a couple times a day, have the intention that the water is rinsing away what is not yours. And that is on an energy, emotional, mental level, okay? The other things you can do, if you have a soaking tub, Himalayan sea salts, spoil yourself, increase your self-care and be able to soak in that space, do a meditation, and you're literally detoxing with the salt physically and energetically. And you're resetting your body and your energy field. So those are some ways to get into a daily practice, increase your self-care. Now for me, I have learned that I don't necessarily, hey butterfly, I hope that was on camera because that came right here.
I think
it is.
I didn't see it.
It was right here. It almost like landed on me. So, let's see if we can get back on track. Not ADD right now. So, not squirrel, butterfly. So, basically, what I've learned in my journey, because I have a large family, a lot of dynamics are in large family groups. I learned early on feeling like I'm the oddball in the family. I'm different. Why do I feel like I don't belong? And basically in that, I would say lifelong learning lesson, I started to realize, how can I bring myself back into me and know where I begin and where I end? So that way I don't get overwhelmed by others. People that have anxiety, but they don't understand why they have anxiety, you probably feel too much. You're probably energetically open and too much stimuli is happening in your energy field. So my practice now, I've learned a few different techniques. So it's remembering to ask, is this mine? Is this not? Do I need to clear? The next step is, yes, I have to clear, but I don't have access to the water right now. So in nature, you can sit, quiet yourself, and ask your angels, your guides, your ancestors, animal spirits, whoever you're drawn to with your spirit team, let's say, of asking for assistance. One of the things people don't realize is that if you don't ask, your angels just sit there, probably with their hand on their forehead, going, I don't understand why they think they're doing this alone. Angels only intervene if it's not your time to exit the planet. So remember to ask for assistance. So here's one of the ways that I learned. I will sit myself down, feel grounded, quiet the mind, and then I ask for my team to come in and assist me in clearing anything that is not part of me. Whether if it's my emotion, then I'm going to recognize it. But if it's not mine, I'm going to realize, okay, this isn't mine. And it's kind of like a team effort. I can sit and pretend I'm pulling stuff off me and hand it over to whoever's working with me at that moment, whether it's an angel, an ancestor, or a guide, or an animal spirit, like I said. And we work together in clearing my energy, bringing myself back to a center space. And then you can breathe and go back out into whatever you're doing. But if you go back out and you don't intentionally shield, you're just going to keep repeating the clearing. So here's where another step comes in. Remembering that if you start out getting ready in the morning, you can pretend to put something on with your clothing. You know, who's your favorite character? You know, for me, Wonder Woman, right? So she's got an awesome, amazing outfit. I can pretend that I'm putting on that outfit under what I'm wearing. I can pretend that everything I put on for my jewelry, my necklaces, is part of my armor. So this can represent my shield. This is my sword side. And I put on my armor, my plate. Now, if you like going back to, say, a character in Egypt, a goddess, see yourself dressing as that goddess. Whether it's a flowy, beautiful gown, all the gold jewelry, all the gems, in your imagination, the more powerful you create your boundary, the more you'll be shielded. Back in the day, I swear it was probably 20 years ago, they were like, put a light bubble around you. That never worked for me. The bubble thing just didn't work for some reason. So, yeah, if something doesn't work, create your own. That's what I learned. Is just because a book says it or an online person influencing says it, the key to your power is finding what works for you. Butterfly's coming back. Hey, butterfly. It avoided the camera this time.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, the power of setting your intention. All of you out there in YouTube land, you know, whether this ends up on my Instagram or not, I know that you're stubborn. I know that you're full of faith. And I know that when you're determined, you set your goal, you can achieve it. So this is the same energy. Take all of those things, bring it together and say, I am shielding up. I no longer allow other people's stuff to drag me down or cling on to me, or I feel like I'm a giant, you know, dust bunny by the end of the day. Or I have some movie references. Yes, I've watched the X-Men, and there's a scene where Magneto he's gone a little rogue, but I see a message in the scene that has nothing to do with the scene. Magneto is up in the air, he's floating, he's totally ticked off at the good guys. He is one of the good guys, but he went on the bad team. Why? Because his wounds were flared up. So he's wounded, he's ticked, and all of a sudden he starts pulling in everything metal. And I saw that scene and went, holy moly, that's what it feels like to be empathic, especially when you feel super empathic. You literally can float in the space and you got refrigerators flying at you, steel beams coming at you, and you're just getting it all clung on to you. Now the difference is when you're in a balanced state and you know you're not throwing your wounds around, which he was doing, he was throwing those things at objects and people, until he came into an aha moment and realized that he is loved by this group, he's honored by this group, and he ended up shifting sides right then and there. But the point of the story is we can become magnetic energetically. So it doesn't mean we're not going to have challenges when we're in a balanced place. We're always going to have those tests. We're always going to have opportunity. Again, it feels like tests to rise above the situation, look within. How can I be in balance? Am I feeling overwhelmed? Am I feeling anxiety? Is this mine? Is this someone else's? I'm going to admit right here, I think it's been 3 years since I went to Walmart. I can't go. There's too much chaotic energy. I'm too open to environments. I thrive in nature. So when you recognize sometimes, hi bud, Butterflies back. So sometimes you recognize, I need to set a boundary for myself. Or you may have had a friend that all of a sudden throughout your journey, all of a sudden you're just not in alignment anymore. And it's time to say, well, I am going to continue this journey of healing myself. And I also have to set boundaries, because if they're hooking in and constantly venting at me and I'm drained, then that is a toxic situation. You have to put up that boundary and say no more. You love yourself enough to take the time, take the space to recognize, to create the energies that you desire around you. Welcome the people that are in balance with you. It doesn't mean you're not going to have a challenge with your friends. It means, do they show up and we have that conversation and we patch things up and the energy's good? That's a great connection. Is the person you're trying to set boundaries with getting all flared up and getting annoyed and wanting to fight? Not a good situation. Take space. Avoid that connection. You are worthy. You are loved. And believe me, when you find your balance, the particular balance that makes you feel the strongest, trust how to navigate your journey. So remember the steps. Acknowledgement is where that first bit of power starts to sit inside you, recognizing you can feel. Then it's the question, is this mine or is this theirs? Then after you get the answer, whatever is not mine is cleared away from me now. When you clear, then you shield. Then you're prepared. Does it mean your shields don't weaken throughout the day? Totally. It can happen. Okay? You just clear and shield up again. So remember, one of the hardest things is setting these simple steps are hard for adults because we are creatures of habit. So go easy on yourself. Be gentle. No negative self-talk. Do not berate yourself, because every day is an opportunity to try harder, to do better. So I want to take a moment and end with how to tune in. So if you put your left hand on your heart and your right hand on your belly, and you close your eyes wherever you are, and you just take a few deep breaths. Now look within and feel what you feel like. Seek the balanced space within you, the grounded feeling. And this is your center spot. This is what you want to tune into when you ask that question. Am I feeling too much right now? Am I taking on too much of other people's emotions, pain, even anxieties or stress? And then remember, clearing and then creating shields. And know your power. You're amazing, you're beautiful, and you've got this. So thank you so much for joining me here in my YouTube adventure of breaking past some boundaries for myself, showing up as authentically as I can on camera, and sharing some of this beautiful red rock energy with you. Stay blessed, and thank you.